Five. Mr. Five. Okay. Five. Jambura, Tobias. Come on. Jambura. All right. Stand up. All right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning. This is the time set for the 5 a.m. calendar on April 23rd, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the first calendar of this month will apply to all matters on this calendar. I'll call you each one at a time to the podium, and I'll provide a second name to sit in a chair outside of this room. If we can start with Mr. Papayas to the podium and Mr. Frank Vasquez to the chair. Good morning. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Jumbura Papias, January 1st, 1991.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant that was issued for you with allegations you violated terms 3, 4, 5, 14, and 15. I will appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing April 30th at 8:30 in the morning. Your warrant is a non-bondable warrant, so you will be held non-bondable. You'll be held in custody until at least April 30th at 8:30. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, sir?
No.
Okay, just up to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Vasquez to the podium. And Mr. Glenn Van Volent to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Frank Vasquez, 1972.
And what's the month and day?
June 27th.
Thank you, sir. It does look like we have 4 cases on the calendar here. We have 2 failure to appear warrants that were issued for you. I will affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you on those cases. It does look like you failed to appear for a sentencing hearing, and so you will be held non-bondable on those 2 failure to appear warrants. You also have a 3rd case on the calendar, which is a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespass in the third degree, a Class 2 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference April 29th at 8:30. An evidentiary hearing April 30th at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing May 1st at 8:30. In this case, you were out on felony release on the other 2 cases we already discussed, and so you'll be held non-bondable on this case as well. The hearing set for April 30th at 1:30 is the time set to determine if bond will be set. On your failure to appear warrants, you're going to have a status conference April 30th at 8:30 in the morning. And then you have a 4th case on the calendar, which is a municipal court warrant coming out of Peoria, and it relates to a probation violation. In that case, I will appoint counsel and set an arraignment hearing in the Peoria Municipal Court on April 29th at 9 a.m. In that case, you do have a secured appearance bond of $250. However, I would hold off on posting that since you will be held non-bondable on the other 3 cases on the calendar. All of that information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, sir? Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Glenn Van Vlint to the podium and Shauna Moody to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Glenn Van Vliet, 11/28/75.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a grand jury warrant that was issued for you, and it's for an offense date of December 28th, 2024. It does include 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony as well. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you, and I'm going to set an arraignment hearing on April 30th at 8:30. In this case, I am affirming the secured appearance bond of $25,000. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with, and then you'll need to ensure you attend that hearing to avoid any failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of that bond. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, I'll give you your paperwork. Shauna Moody to the podium and Sarah Santiago Rogers to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Shauna Moody, March 18th, 1990.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a grand jury warrant. It is for an offense date of March 23rd, 2025, and it does include 4 counts of custodial interference, a Class 6 felony. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set an arraignment hearing on April 30th at 8:30. I am affirming the cash-only appearance bond of $20,000. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with. You need to ensure you attend that hearing to avoid any failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bond you may post. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Ms. Santiago Rogers to the podium and Mr. Day to the chair. Good morning. Could I please get your name and date of birth?
Sarah Santiago Rogers, 12/21/1987.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include 2 counts of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony, 1 count of aggravated DUI with a passenger under 15, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of endangerment, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference April 29th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $15,000. If you post bond, you'll be released to pretrial services for alcohol and drug testing and monitoring. You'll also have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with. It will include not possessing any weapons and not consuming any alcohol. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
So the 15,000 is like in full, or is it a percentage?
It's a secured appearance bond, meaning you can contact a bail bonding company, which is typically going to be 10% plus collateral.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Day to the podium and Mr. Hall to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Good morning, Your Honor. Isaiah Day, 11/16/1996.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you are here on a grand jury warrant that was issued for you for an offense date of October 21st, 2024. It does include 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set an arraignment hearing April 30th at 8:30. I am affirming the secured appearance bond of $10,000. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with. You'll need to ensure you attend that hearing to avoid a failure to appear warrant and forfeiture of any bond that you may post. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. With this case I was already grand juried indicted for this case already, and I bonded out. And I've been doing good, Your Honor. I've been going to check in with my bondsmen. I've been working and everything. I have a daughter that's 3 months old, and if I don't go show up to the bondsman today, they're gonna garnish my wife's checks, and my wife doesn't have nobody out there, you know. So it's like, how am I on a grand jury indictment warrant if they already indicted me once, and then the bond forfeit they had, and I have a paper at my house that they sent out, that the court sent out to me, that said my bond forfeit thing, it was, I believe, it was supposed to be held like April 17th or April 15th, I believe, but they had canceled it because they sent me a paper and said I had a warrant on a court document. I seen it, and I called up here to the courts to check, and they told me that because I guess in the system or something that it didn't show that I had a warrant or anything. And I called my lawyer. My lawyer said I didn't have court till the 5th or next month on the 5th, I believe. And that's where that came. And all of a sudden it's a grand jury indictment. How am I grand jury indicted if I already been grand jury indicted, you know?
So I do see you have another pending case, but that's for a different issue. It looks like that offense date was in January of 2025, January 18th, 2025. So you do have a pending case relating to misconduct involving weapons. This is a new charge for an offense date of October 21st, 2024. Because it's a grand jury warrant, all the information and the underlying facts of this case is sealed. I don't have access to any of the information, so I can't give you any updates on what it's specifically related to, only the fact that it's a possession of a weapon by a prohibited person on October 21st, 2024. Once you meet with your attorney on April 30th, they should be able to have additional information that they can provide you. But again, because it's a grand jury warrant, I don't have access to that today.
Your Honor, and all I'm asking is, I have 3 kids, ma'am. I already post bond before. I don't have too much of money. My wife don't have too much. If you can, like, at least lower it a little bit so I can, because my kids is their baby still, and my wife, she goes to work all day, every day. Nobody takes care of. I'm their only option, you know? And without my wife going to work, if she can't go to work and can't provide for the children, nobody's going to do that for them, you know? And they're going to lose everything, you know? And I'm the only one that's there to build it up, if that makes any sense. You get me? So it's like I don't know how to really explain it to you, but it's either like my wife works and I work. When she works, I take care of my children. When I work, she takes care of the children. But without her, if I'm locked up and I can't get out because I already posted bond, which was $25,000, I had posted that already, and they let me out. Like I said, I'm on bond right now as we speak, you know. And the judge or the police that came and arrested me yesterday, they told me out their mouth, they're like, this isn't no new charge. These are the same charges we picked you on up before. And I said, okay. They said, yeah, it's just a warrant that the same detective placed against you that you're going in here for. So I said, okay, well, if this is the same thing, I didn't understand it because I'm already out on bonds, you know? So it's like I'm just confused. I'm here. I've been doing good, man. My work, my kids need me, you know? And I don't have no other way to get out, like, unless it's like, you know, and my kids are on the line of losing, my wife are on the line of losing the house and everything, you know? So it's like, can you give me a little sympathy, please? I'm trying to get back to my kids. I've been on a right and better path, you know, if that makes any sense.
So the concern I have here is, again, this is a sealed document. And so the person who heard the information and issued this warrant on April 11th thought that $1,000 secured appearance bond was appropriate. And I'm not in a position to change that this morning because I don't have the information that they had. And so I am affirming that $10,000 bond, and your next hearing on this case will be April 30th at 8:30 in the morning. And again, this is a different charge than the pending case you have, which I do see you posted a $25,000 bond. This is a new charge that you're being held on this morning.
So with that being said, the bondsman that I'm out on bond first, they're gonna take all the money. Is there any way you guys can let them know it wasn't like I messed up or anything? Because they're gonna take my wife's every check she has till she reached 25K. You get me? And it's like that's unfair if I didn't do anything to get my bond revoked, or this is an old case coming from October and we're in a whole new year. I understand that, but it's like you're gonna take her checks if I don't show up today or let him know that, hey, I had this or that. He's gonna take her checks till she reaches 25K.
When you say you were supposed to show up today, you were supposed to meet with your bail bondsman?
You're right. I go in person to meet him Wednesdays. I call every Monday. I call him personally on Mondays. Wednesdays, I go see him. And on Fridays, I got to call and check in every time, you know? So it's like, if I don't go check in, he's going to go and garnish her checks, you know? And it's like, how is that fair for her? She's, you know, if that makes any sense.
You're going to have access to a telephone when you get to the back. So
right, but this is what I'm saying. If you bond out, correct, it says in the terms, any police contact, anything, they're able to garnish your checks, right? So if I'm here currently right now, right? But I'm supposed to be out on bond. So if I'm in here, that's me having police contact, and I didn't do anything to have the police contact. Because you guys or the detective is the person that made the warrant or whatever, issued the warrant for an old case. Okay, I understand that, but it's just a thing of her checks. You know, this is a case that supposedly, okay, I got a case pending for misconduct involving weapons. Okay, but that was the case that I was originally charged for, you know? So that's the case. If it's pending, how did I bond out on it? You know, if that makes any sense. I've been going to court for it. They indicted me for it. I have a grand jury indictment for it already, you know? So it's like, how is it pending if I'm going to court for that? You know what I'm saying? And okay, at that, it's I'm just worried about the checks. You get me? That's my wife's currency. That's the way she provides for my family, you know? And like I said, I have a 3-month baby at my house, a little girl.
The only suggestion I can make is that what you're telling me is you contact your bail bondsman and explain that to them. That's a contract you have with them. I don't have the ability to contact them and tell them the information you're telling me. I understand what you're saying, and I understand that you're indicating that because this is a former offense, you didn't get a new offense since they posted that bond.
Right.
I 100% understand what you're saying. So I would just relay what you're telling me, relay that to your bail bondsman. You'll have access to a phone. They'll actually even give you phone numbers to different bail bonding companies. Hopefully you know the name of the bail bonding company. Contact them, tell them what you're telling me, and see if that will help your case as it relates to them potentially garnishing your wife's paycheck. But again, that's a contract you made with them, and so you're going to need to relay that information to them in order to avoid any of those consequences, okay?
All right.
All right, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Hall to the podium. Mr. Jamal Sabur to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Brad Marshall Robert Hall, 102386.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a new Superior Court case. It looks like you were previously seen by this court on April 1st, 2025. A page 2 came in with some additional charges. It does include 1 count of theft means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of trafficking stolen property, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 6 felony. In this case, probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference April 29th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 1st at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $2,500. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with. It will include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. And it looks like you're also on probation, so you would need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. All of that information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Jamal Sabur to the podium and Hubert Barnes to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Jamil Sabor, March 28, 2004.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing on April 30th at 8:30 a.m. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $2,500. If that bond is posted, you have written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 24 hours. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Hubert Bonds to the podium and Andrew Wright to the chair.
Morning.
Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Hubert Barnes, 11/24/1976.
Thank you, sir. It does look like we're here on a new municipal court case. It does include 1 count of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of threat, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of assault, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have an arraignment hearing, and that's going to be in the Surprise Municipal Court on April 29th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You have a secured appearance bond of $1,500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, and it does look like you're on probation, so you'll need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
So you said my bond is what, is $1,500?
Correct.
That's a 10%?
If you use a bail bonding company, it's typically 10% plus collateral.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Andrew Wright to the podium and Najee Galab to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Andrew Wright, 10/24/78.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you're here on 2 probation violation warrants with allegations you violated terms 3, 5, and 15. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing April 30th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $1,000 in one case and $250 in the other for a total of $1,250. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with. It does include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Oh, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Galab to the podium and Mr. Soto to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Najee Jalap, 11/7/1988.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 2 probation violation warrants that were issued for you with allegations that you violated terms 1, 3, 5, and 15 of your probation. I will appoint an attorney to represent you, and you'll have a probation revocation hearing April 30th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $500 in each case for a total of $1,000. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with. It does include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Soto to the podium and Mr. Garrison Caddy to the chair.
Hi,
Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
my name is Daniel Soto, 12780.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you have 2 cases on the calendar, and they're both failure to appear warrants that were issued for you. I will affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a status conference May 1st at 8:30. That does apply to both of your cases. You have a cash-only appearance bond of $500 in each case for a total of $1,000. If that bond is posted, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with. It will include no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. All of this information will be in your paperwork. You'll need to ensure you attend that hearing to avoid a future failure to appear warrant and forfeiture of any bond that you post. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, so what lawyer am I gonna have? The
It'll
same
be
one?
the same attorney that you previously had.
The same one?
Yep.
Oh, God, all right.
Thank you, sir. Garrison Caddy to the podium and Taylor Schmidt to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Yeah, Garcia Katie, January 20th, 1997.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you have 3 cases on the calendar, and they're probation violation warrants with allegations that you violated terms 5 and 15 of your probation. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing April 30th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $250 in each case for a total of $750. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with. It will include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Thank you, sir. Taylor Schmidt to the podium and Kayla Mascoro to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Taylor Schmidt, July 7th, 1994.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you have 2 cases on the calendar. The first one is a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you. I will affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you. You have a status conference April 29th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 1st at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $500. We have a second case on the calendar, and it's a warrant coming out of Peoria Municipal Court, and it looks like it relates to a theft charge you had in December of 2024. In that case, I'll appoint an attorney, and you'll have an arraignment hearing in the Peoria Municipal Court, and that'll be on April 29th at 9 a.m. In this case, you also have a secured appearance bond of $250. So you have a total bond between the 2 cases of $750. You may have noticed that you have a hearing on April 29th at 8:30 and 9 a.m. in 2 different locations. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do that. I don't have the ability to change those dates. So what I did is I included the Peoria Municipal Court phone number in your paperwork. If you do bond out, you do need to contact them and let them know about the 2 different hearings and get one of those hearings moved to a different date and time. Okay. If you do post bond, you have written conditions of release, and then of course you need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid any failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bonds. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No.
Okay, just step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Kayla Mascoro to the podium and Michael Tucci to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
My name is Kale Mascoro, and my date of birth is 10/26/93.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you. I will affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you, and you're going to have a probation revocation hearing April 30th at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $250. If that bond is posted, you have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with. It will include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. You'll also need to ensure you attend that hearing to avoid any future failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bond you may post. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, just step to your left. I'll give you that paperwork. Thank you. Michael Tucci to the podium and Philip Pope to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Michael Tucci, 7/29/99.
Thank you, sir. And are you still in custody on the case you were seen on April 8th?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so it looks like a warrant has shown up from McDowell Mountain Justice Court. It looks like it relates to a criminal damage charge from July of 2024. It's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I'm going to appoint an attorney and set an arraignment hearing in the McDowell Mountain Justice Court on April 30th at 8:30, and I'm going to place a $50 placeholder secured appearance bond on this case. So this would be in addition to any bond you may still have on that other case. If you do post bond, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and then you'll need to ensure you also attend this hearing in the McDowell Mountain Justice Court. Did you have any questions?
So this isn't here, the court that I'm
No, it
attending?
won't be at the Superior Court. It is a justice court case, so it will take place. Let me take a look at where that located. This is on 40th Street in Phoenix at the Northeast Regional Court Center.
And where is that? When is that?
That is April 30th at 8:30.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Philip Pope to the podium and Aiden Palmer to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Solid Pup, January 23rd, 1985.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you're here on a warrant coming out of the Fountain Hills Municipal Court. It looks like it relates to an offense date of November 9th, 2024 for 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire an attorney at your own expense if you would like to. I'm going to set an arraignment hearing in the municipal court on May 12th at 9 a.m. I'm releasing you today on your own recognizance at your promise to appear at that hearing. You have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and then you need to ensure you attend that hearing to avoid a failure to appear warrant and risk of being held on a bond at the next hearing. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Aiden Palmer to the podium and Isabel Morrison to the chair. Good evening, good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
February 2nd, 2005, Aiden Palmer.
Thank you. And are you currently being held on anything else?
Just the charges from February.
Okay. And so you're still being held in custody on those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have a warrant here today coming out of the White Tank Justice Court, and it does look like it's for failure to pay some fees or comply with some court orders related to a DUI in 2023.
Yes, Your Honor.
And since you are going to be in custody anyways, I need to change my orders. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you, and then I'm going to just set a $50 placeholder bond, so that way you'll be made available for any hearings on this case, and you'll get credit for any time served if necessary. You're going to have a hearing in this case in the White Tank Justice Court. It's an arraignment hearing on April 28th at 8:30. So this information is in addition to the hearings in case you already have pending that we previously spoke about in March 2nd. Do you have any questions?
I just said, I was aware of the White Tank stuff that I was supposed to be completing, and I thought I had more time to complete it. So I'm just wondering, since I've been in custody since February, I guess I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say, but since I've been in custody this whole time, is there anything that can be done to, I guess I'd have to talk to the White Tank Court about it.
Yeah, if you're wanting to extend your time to complete those things, you will have to talk to the White Tank Justice Court. You can provide that information to them when you meet with them on April 28th, though, okay? Right. If you'll take a seat out there, we'll reprint your paperwork for you, okay? Thank you. Isabel Morrison to the podium. Hi, good morning. Could I please get your name and date of birth?
Isabel Angelina Morrison, 1/23/1996.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree and 1 count of criminal damage. For purposes of today's hearing, I am not finding probable cause as to those charges. However, that does not mean that the charges are dismissed. The state may move forward with them. So I'm still going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a status conference May 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 12th at 8:30. If you fail to appear at those, a failure to appear warrant will be issued, so please ensure that you do attend those. But because I'm not finding probable cause, you will be released as to this case, okay? Do you have any questions for me?
I'm still in custody right now for my trespassing, which I'm supposed to have a court for today.
Okay.
Is that going to still have anything to do with that?
So I'm not finding probable cause on these charges, but it would not affect any pending charges or cases or hearings that you have. Looks like you were seen by this court on April 20th, and it does show that you have a hearing at 8:30, so you should still be made available for that hearing, and that should still go forward.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am. If you step to the left, they'll give you that paperwork. Good morning. Do we have an interpreter on the line?
Hello.
Good morning. Do we have an interpreter?
Yes.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Can we have Mr. Tabuana to the podium? Can you please announce that so he will come to the podium?
Est-ce que vous pouvez venir sur le podium, s'il vous plaît?
Good morning, sir. Could I please get your name and date of birth?
My name is Uti Tabuana.
All right.
My happy birthday is March 15, 1972.
Sir, do you need the use of an interpreter?
Yeah, because I don't speak English well.
Okay. I have an interpreter on the line, and I'll just ask that you wait until he's given an opportunity to interpret before answering, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and start over. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Est-ce que vous pouvez me donner votre nom et votre date de naissance, s'il vous plaît?
Yeah, mon nom c'est Tabuana Pare Outine. Et ma date de naissance, mars 15, 1972.
Est-ce que vous pouvez répéter pour moi, s'il vous plaît? Comment votre nom est?
Mon nom c'est Tabuana Pare Outine. Et la date de naissance c'est 15 mars. Et ma date de naissance c'est 15 mars 1972.
My date of birth is 15 March 1972.
Thank you, sir. We're here today on a new Superior Court case.
Merci, monsieur.
Je suis à l'écoute.
Oui. Donc, on est devant la Cour supérieure.
Yeah.
It includes one count of dangerous drug possession and one count of drug paraphernalia possession.
Et donc, ça constitue d'une accusation de possession de drogue dangereuse et d'accusation de possession d'accessoires de drogue.
Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
Et aussi, les causes probables a été trouvées et je désigne un avocat pour vous représenter.
Merci. Okay.
You will have a status conference May 8th at 8:30.
Donc, vous aurez une conférence de mise en situation le 8 mai à 8h30.
And a preliminary hearing May 12th at 8:30.
Et vous aurez aussi une audience préliminaire le 12 mai à 8h30.
Du matin, ça.
Oui.
I am releasing you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear.
Et aussi, je vous libère aujourd'hui de votre plein gré, sous la seule responsabilité et la promesse d'apparaître, que vous allez venir.
Précis.
Yes, of course.
Précis, je serai ici.
I will be there.
You will have written conditions of release you need to comply with.
Vous aurez des conditions de libération seront imposées et vous devez les respecter.
La relation de quoi, s'il te plaît? Je ne vous ai pas bien saisi. répéter, s'il te plaît.
Vous aurez des conditions de libération
Yes.
qui
Yeah.
seront imposées et vous devez les respecter.
No problem. J'ai pris note. J'ai compris, hein, s'il te plaît.
Yes, understood.
Can you repeat what he said?
He said he understood.
Okay. All of this will be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Tout ce que on vient de dire maintenant, ce sera tout ce qu'on vient de discuter ici sera dans votre document. Est-ce que vous avez des questions quelconques?
Je remercie la Cour que je n'ai rien à dire. Tel comme ils m'ont dit que bon, ils vont me relâcher et revenir le traitement. Je suis à leurs lèvres.
Okay. I would like to thank the court, and I have nothing else to add on.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Vous pouvez aller là-bas, on va vous donner vos papiers, vos documents.
Il faut me les remercier et surtout vous saluer, moi, la Cour. Que je leur dis bonjour. Un grand remerciement.
Ouais.
C'est ce matin.
And again, I would like to really thank the court for this. Thank you very much.
And that concludes our interpreter matters this morning. I appreciate your assistance. You can feel free to disconnect at your convenience.
Thank you for calling Lion Bridge for your language needs.
Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
My name is Rena Morris, 10/14/83.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like we are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include 2 counts of endangerment, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 2 counts of child abuse, a Class 3 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference May 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 12th at 8:30. I'm releasing you to the supervision of pretrial services. You have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and then you'll also get an envelope with your paperwork. You need to read those instructions and contact pretrial services once you've been released. You need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid any failure to appear warrants and being held on bond in the future. All of this information will be included in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm going to send her out back for waiting and I'll bring her.
Appreciate it. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Sergio Martinez, November 12, 1975.
Thank you. It does look like we are here on a grand jury warrant. Looks like it covers multiple dates. It includes a time frame of May 18th, 2011 to May 17th, 2013, and that is for count 1, molestation of a child, a Class 2 felony. The next time frame is November 21st, 2011 to November 20th, 2012, and that's count 2, sexual abuse, class 3 felony. The next time period is July 1st, 2011 to June 30th, 2012, and that includes attempt to commit molestation of a child, a class 3 felony, as well as sexual conduct with a minor, a class 2 felony. And then the final time period is July 1st, 2010 to June 30th, 2012 for sexual conduct with a minor, a class 2 felony. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you, and you're going to have an arraignment hearing April 30th at 8:30 a.m. In this case, I am affirming the secured appearance bond of $200,000. If you post that bond, you'll be released to pretrial services and equipped with electronic monitoring. You will also have written conditions of release. It will include no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. You may not have any contact with minors, and you are prohibited from accessing the internet through any electronic means. All of this information will be listed in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork, sir. Thank you. Case number 8 and 9 will proceed as a house call due to the defendant being combative. Rodney Bowers, date of birth January 22nd, 1965. We are here on 2 cases. They are both municipal court warrants that were issued out of Wickenburg. It includes 1 count of disorderly conduct and 1 count of threat or intimidation, both class 1 misdemeanors on the first case. I will appoint counsel and set an arraignment hearing on April 30th at 9 a.m. I am setting a secured appearance bond of $250 in this case. The second case on the calendar is also 1 count of threat or intimidation, a class 1 misdemeanor. I am appointing counsel and setting an arraignment hearing again on April 30th at 9 a.m. and a secured appearance bond of $250 for a total secured appearance bond of $500. If bond is posted, he has written conditions of release he needs to comply with. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. And Mel, can you check case number 8 on the paperwork? Did I mark no PC on the paperwork that got printed? Because if so, we'll need to reprint that. That concludes our 5 a.m. calendar. We will now stand in recess until 8 a.m. Do you have a way of telling what got printed on case number 8?
I did print. Those are the only ones that I didn't reprint.
Okay, so let's look and see what they have.
Because they were fine. I did, okay. Now 8 is question. Okay then?
I don't know what got printed because I did change it like earlier, and I don't know at what point she printed. So I want to see what got printed before. But we have to wait for the officer to come back. It is so cold in here.
Yeah.
I guess I can walk around so it'll be easier to look at the paperwork. Make sure we have the right stuff. Sorry, you only have copies. Okay. So yes, did you reprint eight's wrong?
Okay, this is 8, you don't need mine. Mine was fine. 8 is wrong, so you just dispose of that, and then,
Running hours.
So, yeah, so the one,
We changed up one of the hours.
so that, and I'll have her set this